Hello, everybody. Come in. I'm running just a little bit behind tonight. I was trying to get all this set back up out here in the shed because we were in the house last week. And so, here we are. All right. Um, where is. Where are. They're over here. One second. There's a folder here somewhere with the patterns that we're supposed to be kitting up. I am not sure where they went. Oh, just gonna keep stop knocking stuff off that wall until I figure out this chair situation. Okay. I don't know where I put that folder. So we're just gonna have to work off my Google Drive. Because I've already scanned all the stacks in. Hey Holly, welcome in. Ooh, we're going in the kitchen. What are we making? I do that a lot too. I was actually listening to Twitch streams earlier and I have my iPad in the kitchen with me. Hey Shannon, welcome in. Okay. Oh, I found it. One second. And I'm back. Okay. Um, I had the folder with all the fabric because I had to take all the fabric in the house last week, and so I put the folder with it. Now we don't have to worry about choosing fabric tonight because all of my Plum Street stacks are going on the same piece of fabric. Hopefully. Hold on. Let's look at this. All right. So there's the slaw. Ignore my horrible distancing here. So we got the slaws, the raccoons, scrambled eggs, hash browns, and toast. Breakfast for dinner. One of my favorites. You get leftovers heating in your oven. Leftovers be good too. We had chicken tot casserole tonight. It was something I found on Facebook. It's the first time I ever made it. Hey Laurel, welcome in. And it was the first time I ever made it, and it went over really well. I'm pretty sure we're not even going to have leftovers. So, A plus in my house. It'll be added to the menu. I try and do that each week. I try and make one recipe each week, something new. And I try and make at least two recipes, something chicken, which half my family hates. Um, and tonight's was chicken and they liked it, so there's that. Um, I try and limit pasta to only 2 days a week. So I've got like this whole system for making these menus. And I try and plan out the whole week so that I can, on Saturday, when I leave work, I can run by Walmart, get everything I need, and go home. And I'm trying to plan Thursday and Friday. You don't know what you're going to eat, Laurel? We're going to tempt you. We're going to tempt you into eating something delicious. So I'm trying to make it to where Thursday and Friday are recipes that can either, one, go in a crock pot, or two, be cooked by one of the kids because they'll be home. Hey Sandy, welcome in. I'm going to pack up your order here in just a little bit. Couldn't ship it out today anyway. And that way it can be ready by the time I get home, because I get home about 7:30 If I have to cook, then we don't eat till 8:30, and I have to go to bed at 9. And y'all know what it's like going to bed on a full stomach. Like, it's not that good. So, so I know one of the ones this week is a crock pot meal, and I think the other one is cookable by Lexi. Of course, Lexi starts her job tomorrow. Well, she goes to orientation tomorrow. So at that point, hopefully, we'll know a little bit better about what her schedule is going to look like, because she may not be able to help. So, okay, here's the stacks we've already got. Yes, I don't know how we ended up with so much space here and way not enough space here. I mean, that is really tight. I'm going to have to do something special about this. I think I'm going to finish them on these really thin. I'll show you. One second. So I got these really thin canvas panels. Oh my goodness. I just keep knocking stuff off the wall. I need a different chair, or I need a rug to go under the chair. One of the two. Okay. So as you can see, it's a little bit big. I may have to cut it down, but it's really, really thin. So to be able to cut this kind of midway and wrap it around should be doable. It might be a little scary, but it should be absolutely possible. And then from there, I can either attach it to a frame or something like that. Hey, he cooked Dorito casserole on Friday, and he did an awesome job. So he is completely capable of being our chef a couple days a week. But he's about to go back to summer school, so he's going to be tired too. Breakfast for dinner is the best. I'm having twice baked potato, which is also delicious. We went out for dinner. I didn't eat the potato, so I could eat the rest of my food and have dinner for tonight too. See? Economical. That's what that is. Economical. So, again, ignore my horrible distancing, but I think we can get probably one more, because they're about that wide. Get one more here without leaving ourselves too strapped. And that means if I position it correctly, we could probably get 5 on the bottom down here. So this will be the fabric we use for the next few. Now, week before last, I believe, we kitted up the llamas. So let's see what else we've got in my magic bag of patterns. Snort, gobble, and cow. Now, I do have more than these, but I have put them somewhere. And so I'm probably going to have to work off my digital copies. But we got the piggies, which were like runner-up last time. Cow pile and gobble gob. So. And just to be clear, in case maybe you want something else. Which products? These are Plum Street. My brain's not functioning completely today. Plum Street. So I already did the foxes too. They're on something else. You totally want to stitch them, Holly. It'd be awesome. I did the foxes on something before I was like, at first I thought I was only going to stitch the foxes. So they had their own unique fabric. And then I decided I needed the whole series once the sloths came out. So, Fox Few, we've done Henpeck. That's this one here. Tired Trio, that's this one here. Cardinal Kin is one I really want to get to, the Cardinals. Here's the cow pile. There's Gobble Gob. Hedgerow. I did the hedgehogs, right? Have I not done the hedgehogs? What? Okay, well, hedgehogs. Llama Lump, which we kitted up last week. Polar Pack, Raccoon Rabbles right here. Rack Stack. Rack Stack. That one's reindeer. Roo Crew, which is kangaroos. And Snort Stack. Those are the ones I have. We got 2 for piggies and 2 for Gobble Gob. Anybody else want to weigh in? Got Snort Stack. I know the lighting is horrible. You'll probably be blinded. Hedgehogs. Angela says hedgehogs. She's going to throw us all off. That's great. Hey, cat. Finally got the kiddos down. Mine are old enough. I've fed them and I'm like, leave me alone. They're doing their own thing. So, in fact, they might show up at some point. My kids tend to do that. But so these are what we're voting between right now. And we're voting between Gobble Gob and Snort Stack and hedgehogs. I've done 4 of them. The foxes aren't here at the moment, but I've done the sloths, the raccoons, and the hens. And then we kitted up Llama Lump a couple weeks ago. And now we're going to be kitting up one of these today. We're between Gobble, two votes for Gobble, 2 for piggies, and 1 for hedgehogs. So, Cat says hedgehogs. Laurel, carrot cake does not count for dinner, but if that's what you want to eat, they're great. They stitch up. Chris says hedgehogs. Looks like the hedgehogs are winning out, y'all. They stitch up very nicely. They're great. And this is on, I believe, a 32 count. So they're kind of tiny. I mean, no bigger than my hand. But I absolutely love it. So, all right. Are we doing the hedgehogs? How did I do this last time? Where's the... trying to find... Oh, there it is. Okay. So... Why is that in there? That's not the right bag, is it? Hold on, I've lost my mind. Has to be, right? Yeah, because I pulled this out of there. Whew. Sandy says she changes to hedgehogs. Hey, Zeb, welcome in. Good morning in New Zealand. Okay. So, I don't know why that sparkly floss is in there. To figure out what that's about later. All right. So this is the fabric I am doing all of these on, or as many as I can fit on here. And I gotta pull up hedgehogs. I just had it up where you'll know I would lose my head if it weren't like attached right here at this thing, right? Hedgehogs. I could have sworn I did the hedgehogs. Maybe I've just looked at them so many times I thought. Hey Enid, welcome in. Just got back from a walk. That's awesome. Is your weather accommodating? We've been overcast all day and it keeps telling us, oh, hey cat, thank you. I didn't even know I could have subscribers. I don't know how you did that. I thought that was like an affiliate thing. Oh no, subscribe on YouTube. Okay. Whew. Okay. Sorry, I got my brain together. It's much cooler now. Yeah. We've been overcast all day and they keep calling for storms, but we haven't gotten any storms, so it's been really nice. So this is what hedgerow looks like for anybody that hasn't seen it before. Oh look, it's gonna focus. Thank you, camera. So I'm going to pull it out of the way because I got to go past the... Oh, no, I guess I don't. Okay. Here is our floss list. All right, so because this one calls for specialty flosses, I don't necessarily go out and buy the specialty flosses. I give you hands. I don't know what that means. Hey, Vintage, welcome in. We have a family in our garden. Oh, that's so cool. My sister just bought 2 hedgehogs. Like, she really needs more pets. That she has 2 of them. So, Ohio has been rainy and upper 70s. Ooh. That doesn't sound too bad. It's no tornadoes though, right? We had tornadoes this week. I had to literally drive past one. I mean, it had gone back up in the sky, but the hail was still there. It was crazy. Crazy, crazy. You raised hedgehogs when you were young? I would have loved to have a pet like that. I had birds. My sister had hamsters. We had cats and dogs and horses and goats. I think that's it. A donkey. A very annoying donkey. Okay. So, since this one calls for specialty flosses, I don't necessarily go out and order them because, as you can see, I have a good chunk. What I do is I see if I already have them. If I do, I pull them. And if not, then I will just sub them out. I'm not going out and buying all the specialty flosses for these, especially because sometimes it'll call for a specialty floss and have like 3 stitches in that, and it's just not worth the cost. So this one has some Classic Colorworks and it has some DMC. It only has 2 Classic Colorworks, so this should be easy. Now, if chaos bothers your heart, you may want to look away. Because my threads are chaos. So we're looking for pine needles and pea pod. They are in some semblance of an order. It's just a little crazy. Where's my... Okay, there's pink, pickled, perfect, pea pod. Look, I have it. Hey, you want to tell me how to say your name? Ectric? Welcome in. So, here is Peapod. Ectric, okay. I can do that. Okay, and then pine needles, so that should be here too, but it's probably not if we're already to pink. So I don't have pine needles, and it is 3011. I am doing great. How are you? So I started off my Thursday streams with we kit something up first and then we go to stitching. And then I got a job and my job schedules me Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So then I had moved them to Monday, but I'm thinking Sunday may work better for me. So that's why we're on Sunday today. That's great. Creative juices. That's what we're going to have here too. We're going to kit stuff up. What are you working on? And for those that don't know, I am streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. So you should be able to see both chats on my screen. But if not, I try and read everybody's messages out until they start talking to each other. And then maybe I let them just have a conversation. But if you don't see something, but you hear me respond, it's probably because they're on the other platform. Okay, so now I have a DMC floss wall that my husband and I created, and it too is chaos, but that's where I'm going to pull the rest of this. Plague Doctor cosplay. Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. I have never cosplayed before, but it looks really cool. So I'm going to be getting up and down, and I'll try to stay near the microphone. We were talking about this the other day. This was my one foray into crochet. As far as I got. It sits on the back of my chair. That's all I've ever done. Okay. So, these are all the colors outside of black and white, which I usually keep black and white on me at all times, so I don't necessarily have to kit it up. Now I need a floss card. Which is still over there. Is anybody stitching tonight? If so, what are you working on? I do this kitting up on stream because otherwise I wouldn't take the time to do it. And things are just chaos. I'd want to go and start this and I'd be like, oh, I got to pull this floss and that floss. And I would only pull out exactly what I was using. And the next time I might not have what I need with me. I'm crazy that way. So, sitting down and visiting with y'all, Vintage is working on a crochet project. Very nice. Did you see my my little attempt at crocheting? Zeb is working on Prairie Schooler Santa. Public holiday, so you get to stitch. You don't have to go to work. That is awesome. So by kitting on stream means I take the time to sit down and do all the work. And that way, whenever I decide to start these, it could be in 2 weeks. Excuse me, it could be a year down the road, but it will be ready to go. Should be stitching, but I'm tornado watching. Where are the chasers? I love me some Reed. We watch Reed and we watch Max Velocity. So working on I Am Enough. Oh, that's awesome, Cheryl. You're watching Reed? Yeah. I thought you were supposed to be watching hockey. Where's he at? I saw where some of it was supposed to hit Texas, but up in the Panhandle, north of me. Trying to find my scissors. Ooh, the focus is not good today. There we go. You were watching him too, Cheryl? Panhandle near Amarillo? Yeah. That's about... I don't know. My daughter could tell you better because she's been to Amarillo a few times. I think it's about 5 hours from here. But he even... Well, Max Velocity mentioned Midland earlier. It's like... We're like, oh, that's right here. Of course, a lot of the stuff that happens in Midland doesn't actually affect us. Oh, the hockey? You were watching hockey? Yeah. Well, I was watching Vintage's stream earlier, and Sliverton, I've never heard of that. She said she was going over to her mom's to watch hockey. So, where's my double-sided tape? And my pen. I have a favorite pen, y'all. If you've been here for a previous Kit Up stream, you know. When you know, you know. I bet it got left in the house. Just gonna have to use normal tape like a normal person. I was watching hockey, but I am home since it's storming and Mom couldn't watch if I watch. Gotcha. I normally have some double-sided tape that makes this much easier, but I think I left it in the house after last week's stream. Last week it was just so hot. It was like 103 or 104, and the AC out here. So I have like a crafting shed, and the AC out here just could not keep up. So I stayed in the house to do my lives. But it was overcast today, so it's hot and muggy, but it's not anything the AC can't keep up with. All right. Here we are. So I bobbin for stash because I have one of those double-sided bobbin boxes that I have a full set in, and then I have a full set plus on this wall back here. Well, I've got some holes right now I need to fill. I haven't felt like winding bobbins lately, but and then when I kit it up, I either put it on floss drops or floss cards. So that it kind of keeps my set together. And I always have the master set in the box with me wherever I'm at. So if I run low on the card, I've got it. But it helps keep it all together. Plus, I put the symbol on the card so it makes it a little easier to reference quickly versus having to flip back and forth on the pattern. I buy paper patterns, but I always scan them into my Goodnotes app and work on them from my iPad. See, and like I won't take Peapod off of its card, but I still put it on the here so that I remember the symbol. Got to watch Kat do a little kitting the other day. She was starting the Deadly Aquarium Sal. I like the little thing you had holding your bobbins up. I think I need one of those. But I don't know what it was. All the bobbinating. I used to, so when I first started building my master set, whenever I would go to Joann's on a sale, I would buy like 100 or 200 skeins at a time. And I had one of those little hand winder thingies like they sell at Joann's. Not the embroidery Swift, the thing that was holding the bobbins, and you set them in there. It looked so pretty. The embroidery Swift was really cool too, but I know that your husband printed, yeah. So what I would do was I had that little thing and it would sit on the side of my box. That sits on the side of your box and you're supposed to hand wind it, but I would take the little top part off and I would stick it in my husband's drill and just yeah, I kind of figured that would be your answer, is that he printed that. It's really cool. Holds 30 bobbins. So it was a little plastic tray and the bobbins would just sit like this. Boop, 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 and it looks so pretty. I also tend to talk with my hands, so not a lot gets done while I'm talking. Which, you know, while you're streaming, you're doing a whole lot of talking, so not a lot gets done here, but we try. Okay. Yeah, send me a picture. You can send it to me on Instagram, because I see that you just follow me on Instagram. I was like, or your Discord. I can pull up your Discord. And white. Okay. So, I'm going to have to put these in a separate bag, though. Otherwise, I'm going to get them confused with Llama Lump. Alright. I also I have this nifty little tool. What do you use to show your chat on screen? Um, it is part of, so I use Streamlabs. That's why I was asking you about OBS the other day. I use Streamlabs and it's just a default source. It has a source for chat box. So I heard you asking about that earlier, but I don't know how OBS is set up. If it had like a source for that. Mine does it for me. Yeah. But see, I don't know how to set up any of the other stuff, like the loyalty points and like I have them set up in Streamlabs, but they don't show up on Twitch. I don't know. I'm in over my head, but I try. I first started streaming on Twitch a couple years ago, and I would switch off between Twitch and YouTube because I do floss tubes every week, so I have a bigger following over on YouTube. And when I came back, I didn't know that I'd have anybody on Twitch, so I did the multi-streaming so that I could slowly start building Twitch followers while still having all my YouTube people here to chat with me. So they're all very quiet right now, but they're here. My Holly is making herself something to eat. Okay, 30, 33. And Zeb is stitching. And Laurel's eating carrot cake for dinner. And Shannon was warming up food too, I think. I'm hitting everybody during the dinner rush. I actually had to rush and eat dinner before I came on. Okay. Okay, I sent the accept. Hit the microphone. Every time Kat says she hits the microphone, I'm like, I do too. I completely understand. I hit it all the time. Okay, let's see. What color was this? 839. So this one has 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 colors. Means it can go in the less than 10 color category. Where is... Oh, I forgot to pull one other one. Drive. Pine Needles, 3011. Need a boom. My clip for my stand is less than an inch from the mic. I gotta figure out a better place for it. There isn't much room. Yeah, I don't have a lot of room either. Definitely want a boom for the mic because I'm having to like sit into the mic, especially because I have the AC and the fan and they make a lot of background noise. And then I have the table clamp. So here's the Lowry head. And then I have this clamp. It's made by Lowry too. It's pricey getting all the different pieces, and it clamps onto my table right here. So that's kind of nice. Pop the pick in your Discord under cross stitch. Okay. I think I'm in almost all the Discords at this point. Yeah, the table clamp's really nice. But I still feel like I'm hitting stuff because it's all like right here. Cross stitch. So, her husband 3D printed this for her. Isn't that gorgeous the way it just... So like while you're bobbinating, before you go and put it wherever it's supposed to go, you just got this... It's not all over your table. It's just all set up. Super nice. Yeah. Yeah, because when you buy the table clamp, you don't get this part. This part came from my actual Lowry. And that's because on my actual Lowry in the house, I have the corner clamp. I have bought all the pieces. It's been an investment, but it's worth it. Yeah, I have the corner clamp in the house so that I don't have to take them back and forth. Because I tend to put all, the one in the house has all my, it's like lined up with needle minders and they've all got needles on them and it just, it moves so quick and it stacks. So like if you have more than one of them, oh my goodness. Now it doesn't want to go back up. So, and I wish I had a lavender one like what Kat's getting, but I bought mine at a retreat, and the shop that I went to, the Tinsmith's Wife, they had yellow, blue, and red, and we're talking like yellow, yellow. So that was not an option. And my husband tends to be more of a red fan. He doesn't like blue that much, so I bought the red one. That is awesome. That's super neat. Where did he get the design for that, or did he design it himself? I don't know how 3D printing works. That is not something we do around here. My sister could probably tell me, but it's not something we talk about. Actually, I got all of my pieces of my Lowry from the Tinsmith's Wife. Just as she started getting them in, I I would swing by and be like, I want it. I want that. Oh, I think I got my corner clamp from Fire Poppies. I think. Found the STL and we adjusted the size since it was originally made for bigger bobbins. Okay. What am I doing? I get distracted easily. Cheryl, are you going for a finish on I Am Enough? Or it's just something that you're trying to hit a goal on? Like, there are times when I feel like I should remember things and I don't, so I'll have to ask. I was just trying to find the time to do that. Oh, you're gonna make your own? Gotcha. Alright. So we got those. This one I already clipped before I put it on the bobbin, so that'll make life easy. I do that sometimes. You can almost tell my older stuff from my newer stuff because my newer stuff is already cut before I bobbinate it. And all my older stuff was just wound on the bobbin because I used the drill. Gotta say oh, wow. The hedgehogs have a more muted palette than some of the other stacks. Also, I will also mention that when you hit your mic, Cat, we don't tend to, or I don't tend to hear it. And I've noticed that nobody's complained about me hitting my mic, so there is that. I want to make a slightly bigger one because the Deadly Aquarium is 32 colors, of course. I had to put them in another project's tray. Gotcha. So you keep them in the trays? So you have like a tray for each project? I am very mobile with my projects because I work a job where I can stitch and see, and I don't even know how to do filters for the mic. Totally winging it. I went simple. Um, I work at a job where I can stitch at work, so I tend to have to take things with me. And I don't tend to plan very well, so I'm like, oh, just grab this project and go. So, like, all of my projects have either a Q-Snap or a Nerge in them. They all have their own floss cards. At one point, I had scissors in almost all of them. Finally eating dinner. Enjoy. Yeah, easier on bobbins because it's easier with kids and cats. Yeah. Yeah, because my cat likes to eat thread when he can get a hold of it. I've come across so many projects where, like, I go to pick up a parked thread and it's crunchy. And, like, it's because my cat has gnawed on it and his slobber. Anyway. So, thank you. Yeah. I got this at a retreat. The lady was there. She was enjoying the retreat, but she had some for sale, so I picked it up. If you need to go, you have a splay tray and you put the bobbins on a ring and pop it in. Interesting. Yeah. I also, so I kit each of these like with its own floss card and stuff. Um, I only usually put 2 of the 18-inch strands on it and then just refill as necessary. Now on my full coverage designs where it tells you how many of each color there is, I will calculate out the amount of floss that it needs. But for this, I just put 2 strands and see where it gets me. There was a guy on Instagram that was selling them a while back. Do you have the... I don't know if mine has a logo. Yes, it does. Mine is from Union Woodworking for Stacy Stitch's Creative Studio. But I know is it R&R that also does them? Is that who does Vic's? Laurel, do you remember? Display tray is a lifesaver. It's like a rectangle purse and it's magnetic and can fold completely open. Oh, that's cool. I have something similar. It's full of stuff, but I have this. I can it's like a tray and I can unsnap it and the snaps close and it folds up. It's pretty cool. My friend Vic makes that for me. Where did my bobbin go? Oh, I don't have bobbin for this one. Yeah. That's something I need to do. I completely run out of 3032, and I don't know where my bobbins went. Like, obviously I had to have had the bobbin at some point, but it's like completely gone now. I don't know. I don't know. That's the wrong corner. I know there's a lot of people that don't like bobbins at all. My friend Vic is one of them. I like having my bobbins. I like the way it looks. And I like having my master set with me all the time. It's in the house currently because I was pulling flosses from it earlier. want to. Might as well. It was just sitting here. Only got a couple more colors. Where did I get 435? I'm so confused. Okay. This 3011 is supposed to be over here for pine needles because I forgot we didn't have pine needles. The classic color works. So this needs to go over here. And then I was supposed to pull 432, not 435. Apparently I went a little dyslexic. Okay, 3011. And here I am, just not paying attention to myself. Okay, I'm apparently losing my mind. I saw the cabinet. I saw the cabinet. It is really awesome. Okay, so I'm apparently not seeing chat. I've got to refresh. Thank you, Laurel, for texting me. I just recently watched a YouTube of somebody. My brain is not working. Lizzie Stitches or something like that. She just moved into the Beasley with the foam and the Pippin. Yeah, that whole system, and that was interesting to watch. Okay, Laurel, can you try again so I know if it's picking up my YouTube chat or not? Enid says, I like the aesthetic of a bobbin box with all the DMC threads on it. Yeah, there's some, I mean, and my DMC, this just looks cool. Okay, it just looks cool. Can't help it. Okay, I'm gonna have to, yes, Laurel, I can see that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're back. Y'all have to, yeah, I need to pay attention to that because I forgot that sometimes the YouTube chat will like freeze up inside Streamlabs and I have to refresh it. And I didn't realize because the Twitch chat just kept going. And I think it's because, so the way it works on Streamlabs is you sign into one of them and then add the other one. So I'm signed into Twitch and then I add in the YouTube. So sometimes the YouTube goes a little wonky and my Twitch just goes. So, all right. I have a little discrepancy here because I don't have a 432, so I'm thinking that was supposed to be a 5. Where's my Google? You are no longer a ghost, Shannon. I am so sorry. Y'all gotta knock me in the head. Of course, then I have to look at my messages, right? It is supposed to be 435. I wrote it wrong on the card. One of my first streams, since I came back to streaming, Shannon was a ghost for like the entire thing. I couldn't see her in. So I have a chat box, and then there's the one you see on the screen, and those are different. And she would show up on the screen, but not in my chat box. And I was like, where is everybody talking to Shannon at? She likes to become a ghost. And eventually I want to get my other screens put up because I'm just working off of one screen and like the box is so tiny. But my different cameras use the USB ports, and therefore my monitors wouldn't be able to use them. So it's Vic's Bobbin Winder is from RR Woodworks, Kentucky. Yes, okay. I knew there was double R in there. Thank you, Laurel. Did you have to ask her, or did you just know that? Because I feel like you just know that sort of thing. Laurel is the crazy with all the knowledge. Okay. You know, it gets up a lot faster when we don't have to decide which fabric to stitch on. When the fabric is already chosen for us. But choosing fabric's a lot of fun. Yeah, you knew? Okay. I'm so excited to start my Alforce embroidery tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I was even messaging Cheryl earlier and I was like, I'm gonna wait for you, but like, I'm excited. Looking into digging more of my stash I got from Pocket Ratty. What kind of stuff did you get from her? I am a bit of a hoarder. I'm what we call a cross-stitch collector. I am a cross-stitch dragon. I hoard all the things cross-stitch. And so I have a massive box. Star Dragon! It's worse, I need to order more in a different color for another Sal. More fabric? Are you joining us, Shannon, for Star Dragon? I need to know who all's doing Star Dragon. I can't remember if Sarah is or not. So, I have a ridiculous stash of fabric. That's one of the reasons I do these kitting videos every week. One is because, like, it makes me take the time to do it, whereas normally I would find anything else to do, like laundry and, you know, all the things. What color is this? 3779. Why is that not on there? Gonna do fungi book. Nice. Embellishment. Sal, am I gonna have FOMO? So a bunch of us ordered, I don't have the cover photo, Star Dragon from Alforce Embroidery, and we were just all starting it tomorrow. Let me see if I still have the, oh, I have it in my Notions. So I've been keeping up, sort of. I think I have all my kitted projects in here now. Pretty sure. Star. Why is this not in alphabetical order? Who does that? Where'd it go? Just had it. Okay, this is what we're starting. Isn't it gorgeous? Okay. You got modded. I don't know what that means. Yes, Holly. We decided tomorrow night. It'll be after 8 Central because Cheryl has a meeting. I don't auto modded for too many caps. I apparently yelled too much. Oh, okay, okay. So, and Holly's gonna be starting a Alforce, but she's not starting the Star Dragon because I mean it's massive. This thing is. Where's? Get out of the picture. How do I get out of the picture? Ah, it went away. Patterns. Star Dragon. It is 315 by 185. It is massive. Now, I ordered the pattern on Etsy because, you know, Owl Forest has an Etsy shop. But I did buy the specialty threads from Owl Forest and had to have them shipped here from Russia. And I actually ordered for a whole bunch of people and then sent it to them. But these are the specialty flosses for this project. I'm doing it on 40 count Verdal. So this is Gold Rush from Be Stitch Me. I think it's going to be so good. And then I put it in a Vic bag with all these dragons on it because dragon. Aaron, I would love to start that one, but I realize my brother's wedding is in 3.5 months and I've only put 100 stitches so far. Need to get that finished. Yeah, girl. I don't need another whip. I don't need another whip. I feel you. This one is a special allowance that I'm allowing myself to have with my friends. Otherwise, oh, Nightbot said stop spamming caps. It just popped up for me. Is it deleting you again? Come on, Sammy. It was you, Kate, and I. We were on Zoom when we decided the date. That is, you are absolutely correct. So, is it just gonna delete everything, Kat says? At least it still shows up on stream. I don't know what's doing that because I don't know what Nightbot is. But I still see her chat. But it looks like on Zoom or on Twitch, it keeps deleting her messages. Oy. Okay. I gotta figure out what's going on here. Is there a way to turn that off? Nightbot.tv. Okay. Give me just a second. Let me try and figure this out. See, this is why I need understanding people on the Twitch to tell me what I'm doing wrong. Okay. Okay. Commands. Okay. I think I might have fixed it. I timed her out for 10 minutes. I'm so sorry, Cat. Okay, I disabled the excess caps thing. Timers. Timed out for 600 seconds by Nightbot for posting caps. Oh, pretty. That's horrible. That is such a dumb thing to do. Okay. When she's back, I think I got it fixed. Oh, she hopped over to YouTube. Okay. Well, hopefully I fix that. So. Yeah, so Star Dragon's really big, and it's one of 3, and I've got all 3 of them, but we're going to start one at a time. But I'm allowing myself this start because I really, really wanted it, but I'm trying to whip down. I currently have 37 whips, and I'm trying to get down to 30. So I'm not letting myself start a bunch of stuff, but it's hard because I want to start all the stuff all the time. And then I have these friends who are horrible enablers who are like, just do it. It's fine. Who cares if you have 137 whips? It's fine. Gotta figure out where the 3779 goes. Okay. I did something funky here. 379, and then this is 3790. So let me fix that. You won't let yourself go over 8. Yeah, so here's my story, because I know there's a few new people who haven't heard it. When I first started doing counted cross stitch, I was monogamous. I didn't know anything about it, right? I went to Hobby Lobby and I found this little bookmark, and I started it, and it was cool. And then I got into a Facebook group and I came across Heaven and Earth Designs, and I got me one of the quick stitches. And I solely focused on it for like a year and a half. And I would go really hard at it for like 3 months, and then I wouldn't stitch for like 6 months. And then I'd go really gung-ho on it for a few months, and then I wouldn't stitch it off for 6 months. And after joining the Facebook groups and the YouTubes and all that stuff, I realized, there was a few challenges where the challenge was to like have 7 starts in 7 days. So I started a few small things that I got from Hobby Lobby, the little kits. And I realized that by having stuff to switch between, that I don't go without stitching if I can help it. Like last month I had one day where I did not stitch at all. And so I pretty much switch projects every single day. So it's what keeps me going. I don't get bored. So I think you need to start, what was that red one? Or was that ink circles? Never mind, I think that was ink circles. What do you have, Holly? Or are you buying? You haven't bought yet. Honestly, I haven't bought this pattern yet. I need to do that. I got on Etsy a couple days ago to buy it, and I haven't actually pulled the trigger yet. Yeah. Holly will get you starting all the things. She even runs Facebook groups and convinces you to stitch more and more and more and more. Yeah. So I have, I think, 5 Heaven and Earth Designs on the go right now, and I'm only actively working on 2. The other ones are just kind of put up for now, because it's a lot. If you have to love full coverage, it's as simple as that. Ink circles is a bad word around here, because we just did a ink circles round robin, and Holly had all the issues, and in fact she's stitching on my ink circles now, and she's not a fan. Her and ink circles did not get along this round robin, because we were doing the mandalas, and like the 4 different sides are all supposed to be the same, and so when hers wouldn't match up, and then she'd have to frog like 500 stitches, and she just got really it was great. I love you, Holly. We should do a round robin. I loved it. We all loved it. She's like, no more ink circles. But the nice thing was none of them were very big, and we all kind of stitched the same thing, so it was good. I enjoyed it. You have to know that you can trust the people that you're sending it to, that they're not just going to let it languish, or that y'all are all in an agreement that there's no rush or whatever. Because I wouldn't do it with strangers, me personally. I know there's groups that do that, but my ink circles is better. The color changes make it tolerable. Yeah. So I think I have a picture. Where's my notions? I don't think I have a picture of that one, because I finished it last year and I started notions on January 1st. But it's, oh, what's it called? Something about the roses. I'm gonna do an ink circles mandala and beads. Ooh, I bet that'll look good. We, the four of us that did this one, we didn't give each other a time limit, but we all were just kind of diligent about it. And I think, especially in the beginning, we were also, ooh, I want to get it done and get it sent off. And we got it done really quickly. And now these last few are taking a little bit longer, but nobody's in a rush for it. It's fine. Laurel, I did a deadline one 20 years ago and decided I wasn't doing that again. Okay, I'm going to put these flosses back up. Cat's back on Twitch. Yeah, see, I'm telling you, I know nothing about the way Twitch is set up. And so I don't know what I'm doing. But like, I sit on Twitch almost all day long because I like the live interaction between the person streaming, even though they're just sitting there stitching, and everybody. Laurel needs a deadline for all her whips then. Okay, I may end up doing that. I think it naturally set it up for me. Zeb says, I'm doing a Blackbird Designs one with 3 friends, and communication is key. We said 2 months per round, but if life happens and we're always letting each other know what's happening, that's the big thing. Talk to somebody. Tell them, hey, you know, my life is crazy right now. It's going to be an extra month. If they're your friends, they understand. Laurel, in fact, I still have the one that belonged to the girl I smiled to. Was holding it because she wasn't mailing. Oh, you meant you mailed to. Was holding it because she wasn't mailing the one she had. Gotcha. Cat's just gonna chat on both chats. Yeah, mailed to. Okay, so we are fully kitted up. And I don't know if you were here, Vintage, when I first started, but these are the ones I've completed. Well, except for foxes. The foxes are in my finished stuff somewhere. But these are the ones I have completed. I'm working on getting them all. So basically, as I finish them, I'm supposed to be starting another one. I haven't started a new one just yet, but it's on my list, my to-do list. And so now we've kitted up hedgehogs today, and we kitted up llama lump 2 weeks ago. So I'm ready to go whenever I get ready to go. The other way I keep myself from having too many starts is I have to have a very good reason to start them. So like I'm starting the Owl Forest tomorrow because all my friends are starting it, or you know, there's something that comes up. Oh, I'm gonna do a Carolyn Manning for my birthday. Stuff like that. So it helps me to. I turned off the caps thing, so hopefully. Where's my bag? Where'd the bag go? So, right now, I really don't know why this floss is in here. Or where it came from. Okay. This is the stuff I have for Llama Lamp, and I... Go ahead. The other ones are wrapped up in here, and I'll have to get something to keep them all separate. I like it too. I'm just trying to remember. So I used it for some... Okay, I do this thing at the end of the year called Finish That Shit December, except I don't typically say shit. So I call it Finish That Stitch December. And so I try and finish up whatever is close to a finish in December. And so I know there was something that used this, but I don't remember what. And I don't know how it got in this bag, other than they probably got finished close to the same time. So that's how that worked. But I don't know what it was. I have to go look through all my finishes in December. Okay, so now that we're done kidding, we're gonna stitch. Hey, Zakayla. I'm here with Amu. What's that? Oh. Hello. We got a few people. Hello. Oh, so it doesn't show me that. Hi, everybody. So for those of you on YouTube, I just got rated on Twitch, which means everybody that I'm guessing was in Zakayla's, or no, anybody else? Somebody brought all the people that were watching their stream over here to my stream. Hi, thank you. No, Amu Blue. Okay. Hi. Hello. Hey, Debbie, welcome in. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Hello, welcome. I'm very new to Twitch. I mean, I've streamed off and on over the years, but I've never really like set up stuff. And so like there wasn't an alert, even though I was pretty sure there was supposed to be. Yeah. So, welcome in everybody. We are just about to start stitching. We just finished kitting up a project so that it's ready to go whenever I'm ready to stitch. And now we're gonna stitch. Cat says, never mind. Hello, hello. So excited. I'm here with Amu too. I have to raid and run. Hope you have a great rest of your stream. Thank you, Little River. Welcome. I understand that. There's often that, like, I'll stick around till we raid to the next person, and then I'll see what they're doing and maybe follow them, and then I gotta go. You know, that's how life is. So, yeah, what were you working on tonight, Amu? I don't know if I'm saying that right, and it feels really weird to possibly be saying it wrong. So on this stream, my kit and stitch, after I kit, I stitch on this specific project for a little while until we're... Oh, okay, awesome. I love knowing that I'm right. Hi, Raiders from the YouTube chat. Holly says hi. Should be able to see that chat on my screen. I don't know. I gotta turn on some light over here. So after we're done kitting, we do a little stitching, always on this one until I get it finished. Ooh, new follower. Toya. Hey, Toya. You gift me things in chat all the time on Pokemon. Okay, so until I finish this one, this is the one we're going to stitch on. And this is Mystery Kitty from Kitty and Me Designs. And it was a stitch along at the beginning of the year that I did not keep up with. But I like it. You've always wanted to do one of these cats. I freaking love them. They stitch up so nice. So quick and easy. I mean, I make them take forever because I don't focus, but I really do enjoy them. Where is my cover photo for the kitty? There it is. Oh my goodness. It's gonna just take up my whole screen here. it does this? Like, I put up this picture every week. You think it could stay the size it's supposed to stay? We are having technical difficulties. There we go. Did it again. So here's what it's going to look like when it's done. And we're getting there. We are getting there. So. Gotta figure out where I was at last week. What happened, cat? Mystery. You ended up with taquitos for dinner and ate the carrot cake first. There we go. As long as you got some real food. All right. It's some late night dinner time foodage. Where's my needle? Oh, you hit the up arrow in the chat box. All right. Time to stitch on Stephen King house. Very nice. Where's my white? There it is. So yeah, on this stream, I kit a project up just so it's ready someday when I decide I want to stitch on it. I probably have a little over 60 things. Oh shoot, we forgot to put it in Notions. I gotta do that. I kit it up and stick it in a drawer and wait till a time when I want to start it. But it helps kind of. You sent me back a DM on Discord. Okay. So I forgot what I was gonna say. I have this huge. I was telling you earlier. I have a huge stash of fabric, and it's starting to overrun the area that I have set aside for it. So by putting it in kits with what I'm going to use it for, it helps bring that pile down a little bit. Shannon is going to stitch on tea. You had eggnog ice cream for dessert. Man, y'all, ice cream. I have to go eat me some strawberries. So it kind of helps with the fabric stash and has them put together so that when I decide to start them, I can just grab and go. So I kit, and then we stitch on Mystery Kitty for a little bit. And then I have another stream Tuesday at 1 o'clock. And so that one is a just stitch in chat. So I let my YouTube community choose what I stitch on. I put a poll up there. I'll do that right after stream is over. And so if you have anything you're hoping to see me stitch on, you can go ahead and shout out some recommendations and I'll put it on the vote. For those that know my stitch list, my whip list. Might get back to Abylonia. Almost done with May categories, believe it or not. Very nice. So I was really bad. I had gotten all of my June categories and focus pieces and my SAL, and I put them in my bags and I had them in the car for work. And then I got to work on Thursday and realized it was only the 30th. And all I had with me were my June goals. So I got a little bit of a head start on June. Thank you, Amu, for the follow. That does pop up on my screen. The raid did not. And I also don't have any sound associated with my Streamlabs, so... Actually, it might have sound, I just have it turned off. Yeah, those diabetics in the room who have to take it easy on the sugar, hearing about all the ice cream. Twitch built-in alerts. That's what I put on. Oh. I'm sorry. I did the Streamlabs stuff. I'm not even sure how to do that. I'm sorry, Kat. I'll get it figured out eventually. Between that and trying to figure out how to edit my website, I've been on the computer a lot this week. I'll be glad when they get us a desk and chair at work so that I can be on my laptop versus sitting in the Jeep where all I can do is stitch. I know. Big complaint there, right? I don't do anything with Streamlabs. Yeah, well, when I was first going to stream on Twitch, you know, you go into the settings and stuff, and the first thing it recommended was Streamlabs, so I just downloaded it and started using it. So there must be a better way. We may have to do that because I know nothing. And I'm much better about learning something from someone than I am trying to research it on the internet. Twitch alerts are super easy. Yeah, like it has some. Like, it popped up with a new follower and subscriber, but it didn't pop up with the raid that I saw. I'm just going to bring my laptop to retreat, and Vintage and I are going to hide away. We're going to hide away and set it up. I cannot wait for retreat. I mean, the only thing that sucks is it's going to really mess with my schedule. Like, I'm not going to be able to stream that week because I'm going to have to work the beginning of the week where I would normally stream in order to be out of town the end of the week where I would normally be at work. It's going to mess things up, but I enjoy it. And the Stitching Sirens retreat is a really good one to go to. It's pretty chill. Slobs was under fire, so most people use Stream Elements or the standard OBS. Okay. Yes. Well, I was on Vintage's stream earlier this week, last week, and she mentioned going to a retreat the same weekend I was going. And I was like, "Are you going to the Stitching Sirens?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be there." I've been going since it was the Nora, what was it? Mirabilia Minions retreat. And then she stopped having Nora and just started having a normal retreat. And I've gone to every year except last year because I was moving the weekend that it was. I was having to do a mad dash move from one house to another. So at the retreat. Oh, do a test stream with vintage at the retreat. Oh, okay. I'm so bad about like even recording and stuff at the retreat because I get all self conscious. So Jelly, I'm gonna go to StitchCon, but Vintage wasn't able to get a ticket, and that was one of the only reasons I was gonna go. So I knew someone, so I canceled, and then Vintage got her ticket. So that kind of happened to me too. My very first retreat was the Floss Tubers retreat in Austin, Texas, held by Julicious, and she's usually in Bindy's stream. And so I was going to that one because I had found out a floss tuber that I really liked and had gotten to know pretty well was going, and I couldn't wait to meet her. And then it turns out that the reason I got to go was because she had to give up her spot. I literally took her spot. And I didn't find out she wasn't going to be there until I was there. And then I was in a room with a bunch of people I did not know. And that's hard for me as an introvert. I struggled a lot that weekend because there's people I knew from watching FlossTube, and I wanted to be able to have the gumption to go up and say hi, and I just couldn't. But the one person I did talk to was Leslie from Under the Sea Fabrics because she was selling fabric. And that's how I ended up going to these retreats. Also, the girls that I ended up sitting at the table with all come from Austin, and they have their own Stitchy group. And they called me up one day. Like, I didn't know, like, I barely talked. I kind of got to know them. I went to lunch with them. And then all of a sudden they called me up and they're like, hey, go to this retreat with us. And I was like, I didn't even know you remembered who I was. So I've been meeting up with them every year. In fact, Angela was here earlier. I don't know if she's still here. She's also going to the Sirens retreat. Yeah, Leslie brings a ton of fabric to retreat. So you'll have to like send her a small video or something. It's going to be a lot. She brings most of her shop to the retreat, or you could still go to her shop. Either or, but now we're having a new hotel this year, so I don't know how far it is from her shop. The one last year was just like maybe 10 minutes away. I was at Stitching Texas in April. I video chatted with Kat. I signed up for Stitching Texas once a while back, but ended up not being able to go. And so, and honestly, I have a little PTSD being in that area. So I try not to go over to that part of Texas too often if I don't have to. Oh, I wasn't looking at my pattern. We're just going to stitch over it. I'm not pulling all that out. And I'm also going to the Stitching Bee retreat in Sugarland in July. Only because it's right down the street from my parents, so I don't have to stay at a hotel. I'll literally drive and sleep in a bed at my parents' house. So, and my son's super excited to go with me and hang out with my brother and sister, so that's going to be fun. Usually my daughter goes with me to the San Antonio retreat, but this year she has a job and she has cheer camp that weekend at Great Wolf Lodge, so she won't be going. But in the past, she's gone with me every year. I went to StitchCon the first year that they had StitchCon. And it was the first time I got to meet up with Jessie, who was the person I was trying to go to Austin to meet up with. And it was a lot smaller that year. And I haven't been back. But part of my philosophy there is there's so many places that have retreats and that I want to go to, that to go to the same one every year, like, isn't financially feasible. And then the last 3 years I went to the same retreat, not StitchCon, but another one. So I kind of shot myself in the foot there. But I was also selling at that retreat, because I do have a shop. And so that's how I justified going to the same one 3 years in a row, was because I was a vendor. So you've been to PlannerCon, but never anything stitchy. That sounds like fun too. I'm all about those planners. I'm not good at keeping up with them, but I enjoy them. They make my heart happy. Sometimes when I can't find a stitchy Twitch, I try and find a bullet journal Twitch. You've been to the last 3 StitchCons? It was time for a change. Understand? Yeah, so I had signed up for FlossTube New Jersey, and then StitchCon came out, and when I got into StitchCon, I dropped New Jersey because I could only pay to fly to one per year. And except that 1 year that I did 2, but typically. And so then the next year I did Stitch New Jersey instead of StitchCon. I always do the Sirens though, because I can drive to it, and I split the room with my Austin girls, so the cost is minimal. Because when I have to fly, I have to drive to either San Antonio or Dallas to fly out, because flying out of Midland is ridiculous. Like, I can fly out of San Antonio to, let's say, Ohio for like $300. If I try to fly to Ohio from Midland, it's like $750. It's insane. And I say Ohio because I haven't been going to StitchCon, but I've been going to the one in Yellow Springs in November. It's called Stitching in the Springs. So that's the one I've been a vendor at the last couple of years. But I'm not even going to that one this year. The price of it went up and my job situation changed. My friend and I drove to StitchCon, but we make a whole trip of it. That's awesome. See, the job I was working, I really couldn't get enough days off to drive. And I'd be driving by myself, which is no fun. Now, we got laid off in February, and so my husband and I drove to Market. And that was a lot of fun. Took a couple extra days and enjoyed the route. Stopped at a couple casinos. But that's only because we literally didn't have to go back to work. So, and it was cheaper than flying, since neither one of us had a job. I've gone back to work since then. Yeah, the teacher thing. Well, and one of my friends is a teacher, and she always complains that there's not enough of the retreats during the summer, because she's like, I can only go to ones during the summer. And then everybody plans them for, especially the ones that are in May, because y'all are hecka crazy chaos in May. There's no, May and August, there's no way a teacher is making a retreat. Like, none. So I went back to work, but I'm only working 3 days a week. Well, this week is 3.5 because somebody quit, but I only work 3 days a week, so I can just schedule my 4 days on one side or the other, you know, flip-flop with the other day shifter, and it's no problem. I'm just not leaving any spaces for the Kreinik. Let's go stitch some Kreinik so I can stop messing this up. What do you teach, Vintage? Like grade, subject, any of the particulars. Tenth grade English. My daughter just finished 10th grade. She'll be a sophomore or a junior next year. She was a sophomore this year. She will be a junior next year. But to be fair, I don't think she took English this year because she does a dual credit at the college. So there's that. I'm honestly a little surprised we haven't seen one of the kids yet because they tend to be nosy and poke their head in. Sometimes Ryan will even come in and stitch with me. But he starts summer school tomorrow, so I think he's trying to take advantage of as much computer time as he can get. Lexi has orientation for her first day at work tomorrow, so that's super fun. They grow up too fast. All of these cats usually have at least one sparkly thread of some sort. I have done Rainbow Kitty and Patriotic. Was it Patriotic or America? I think it was called America. And then I did Sunset, which was one of the butterflies. And now I'm working on Mystery. And Ryan says I have to start Edgar next, which is an owl, an orange and black owl, because it's their school colors. Something is not right. What is that? That is there. What's that there? One, two, three. Okay. Oh. Welcome home, Mr. Cat. Where am I at? Okay, so that is there. That's there. How did this end up all the way over here? Like Edgar because he looks like Halloween. Yeah, and Poe. Yeah. That is definitely Halloween. Yeah, our school colors are orange and black, so they tend to go over really well with the kids. That's what I did wrong. I just figured it out. Who likes pulling Froggy and Krynick? Hands up. Hands up. No hands. What? We're supposed to be counting off of this one, not that one. That was the problem. One, two, okay. I detest frogging anything. Same. If I can avoid frogging and just, um, fudge it like I'm doing right now, I will. Like I had to move those 4 stitches, but these next couple stitches, they're just gonna go right over some of that white floss I already put in because I wasn't paying any attention. I was just like, oh, we're just gonna fill in. Nope. How dare he be like a husband and love to see you when he gets home, right? I mean, the least she can do is go say hi. What are you working on, Zakayla? You were. What were you doing on stream today? You were stitching on stream. You were working on those coffees. Alright. Got those. Just got done plying yarn and now going to work on a pear dino. So, Zakayla has these. You crochet, right? Either knit or crochet, but I thought it was crochet. Anyways, these dinosaurs that are in the shape of fruits. And so she showed one on stream that was a pumpkin, and she got really focused on it and knocked it out really quickly. I just put those in the wrong place. I do not yarn craft. I attempted. I know some basics when it comes to crochet. You name the craft, I've probably at least tried it. But yes, the amigurumi are crochet. Okay. I made a granny square. I did this much, and then I never went back to it. A lady at work taught me, and so I would crochet. I would crochet until the sun went down, and then after that I would cross stitch for the rest of the night, because when I'm at work, I was working nights, I'm now on days. When I'm at work, I have plenty of free time to do so. And my only problem is I'm so obsessed with cross stitching, and so in order to do any of those things, they have to take away from my cross stitching time. So I tend to be like, eh. My daughter does some crocheting. She's been dabbling here and there with it. She never sticks with anything for very long, but she's at least done more than I have. I am ridiculously obsessed with cross stitch. Like, if I'm not getting a few hundred stitches in a day, I'm having a bad day. Or a really busy day, but when I was at work yesterday, I got 800 stitches in, I think. So I've already done 600 today, not including this. That's what I like to do. Aaron, I made a bunch of snowman ornaments. I have problems reading the patterns and figuring out what they want. Yeah. Zakayla, I did almost 1,000 stitches this morning on the Deadly Aquarium salve. Very nice. That's awesome. That Deadly Aquarium is very popular, especially on Twitch. It seems like all the Twitch people are working on it. I have some friends that don't stream that are doing it too. I was watching Sleeping Luna's Twitch earlier, and she was starting a hoodie, and she had me so overwhelmed when she was like reading the pattern. I'm like, it's gibberish. It's just a bunch of gibberish. I know it makes sense to somebody who does the craft, but I looked at that page with all the instructions and I was like, so glad it's her and not me. There was one time, a couple years ago, I was playing this Facebook game where I don't know some of the Twitch people if y'all have ever played Facebook games, but it's like you're trying to achieve this. In order to achieve it, you have to do such and such amount of stitches, right? And so I was in one a few years ago that was kind of based loosely on the Hunger Games. And I got attacked by somebody. They threw a weapon at me, and in order for me to survive the attack, I had to do 2,000 stitches in 24 hours. Well, when I got hit, I was asleep. So then a few hours later when I was up, I was on my way to work, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I've got to do 2,000 stitches tonight in less than 12 hours because you have to take out the actual time I have to work. And so, I was like, I have less than 12 hours to get this 2,000 stitches in. Luckily, I was stitching on a monochromatic piece, so it was all black floss. And I sat there all night, and I got it. I got the 2,000 stitches within my shift before I had to go home. But it was a bear. So 2,000 is definitely my limit in a day. I was explaining a Facebook game that I played a couple years ago where I had to do stitches in order to survive the game, and I had to get 2,000 done in 24 hours, but I only had the 12 hours that I was at work to actually get any stitching done. So it was a mad dash for stitches. You're going to say WP? What's WP? Oh, I die immediately. Now, it didn't start out that way. Like, at the beginning of the game, it was, 100 stitches to survive or 200 stitches to survive. But we were getting to the point where they were, like, just kind of wanted the game to be over. And so this special weapon came out that hit you for a lot. And they hit me with it. Most of the games that I play are, 100 stitches to cook a hot dog and stuff like that. 2,000 in that time to color block. Yeah, it was, well, I didn't really have, Carolyn Manning would have come in great at that point. I was working on Nine is the Trick in the Tree. So you didn't have color blocks per se, but I was using the same floss, so that helped. 300 a day, yeah. That's an average day for me. WP is your phone being dumb. I would say I usually get 300 to 500 stitches a day, and then if I have a good day, I can get up to like 1,000. That one day I got 2,000. Like, I physically hurt from being hunched over my stitching for 12 hours straight, just being like, I can't stop, I can't breathe, I can't eat. The only time I stopped was when I had to go to the restroom. I was a little hardcore, just a little. Were you in the Hunger Games, Holly? That was so many years ago. That was pre-COVID, wasn't it? Got up at 8:30 a.m. and started stitching before the baby woke up. I got to the 70s. My problem is like, it's not that I don't have the time to get in the stitches, but I get very distracted, like scrolling Facebook and TikTok, stuff like that. I remember that game was right after I joined Semi-Sane. Yeah. Yeah, so like the whole year, they would have these events, not even the whole year. The beginning of the year, anyway. They would have these events, and whoever won got to play in the Hunger Games. So there was 12 of us, I think, in the Hunger Games. It was insane. It was okay, Hunger Games was before your time. It was a lot of fun, but when you get into a competitive environment like that, like, people got ugly. It got real ugly. I tend to hyper focus on certain things. It just happens. But the next day I might get absolutely nothing done due to random things. Yeah. Yeah, so like on my day off, I will do my daily 100. When I'm home, it's always a full coverage. And then I'll go do some dishes and some laundry. And then I'll sit down and do another 100 stitches. And then I go and, pick up a room or whatever. I just alternate between, the stuff you have to do when you're at home. It's why I like going to work, because at work, the only time I'm not stitching is when I have to get out and sign somebody in, and then I sit back down and stitch. Yeah, Laurel, you wouldn't have wanted to be a tribute. It was insane. I was all hyped up for it, but it got ugly. You heard all the horror stories about how ugly it got. Yeah, there was some issues with some people prior to the Hunger Games starting that played out inside the Hunger Games. And, well, I mean, you gotta think of what the Hunger Games is, right? Did anybody read the book? Or at least watch the movie? It wasn't a pretty thing then. It really didn't translate into anything pretty for stitching at all. Except that I got 2,000 stitches in one night. That's the only good that came out of that. Part of my problem is that I haven't marked off my chart from part 3 before I started on part 4. So I'm having to kind of figure out where my borders are. That was it. At least until we get over there. Mystery Kitty actually has 3 Krynics in it. First Purdy Bird. Cats are telling you it's bedtime. Good night, Vintage. Go curl up with the kitties. Mine probably would be too, but they're in the house and I'm out here. Thank you, ma'am. I will see you soon. I'm not sure when your next stream is, but I'll be there. I gotta figure out what to put on the pole to stitch on Tuesday. I'll probably really want to stitch on the dragon though, since I'm starting it tomorrow. I'll be like, yeah, we're just gonna stitch on Alforest. It's fine. I'm still trying to figure out if I wanted where I want to start at. So, like, do I want to start at the bottom so I get to the dragon faster, or I'm not really a bottom-up stitcher very well though. So I think I'd be shooting myself in the foot if I did that. Even though I really want to stitch the dragon. What time is it? Oh my goodness, it's 10 o'clock. I'm gonna have to go to bed soon too. Like, it's my bedtime. On the days that I work, I have to get up at 3:30 in the morning. So I'm usually in bed by 9 o'clock. Excuse me. So on my days off, I try not to transition it too far the other direction. But being a natural night shifter, that's hard to do. Casey's even struggling with it a lot. He keeps thinking, well, I'll go to bed with you and get on your schedule. And then he lays there and tosses and turns till about 3 in the morning. I was like, well, you're not getting up with me at 3:30 if you're going to bed at 3. So, it's been a big transition to go to day shift after being on night shift for 10 years. Also, there's been some big changes at work, and I'm not so happy with them. So, I don't know how that's going to pan out. I'm going to need my Zoomies to be on Zoom tomorrow night. I've got a Virginia update that I don't really want to publicize on here. Because it's rumors, you know? And when you're accessible to the entire world, maybe you don't spread rumors. There's so I run a Facebook group called Virtual Stitchers, and we have a Zoom room that's open 24/7. But really, if we're being realistic about it, nobody shows up until the evening time anyway, and a bunch of us will get on in the evening time, usually around now, and get on Zoom and hang out. So that's what I was meaning by my Zoomies, like people who get on Zoom. That's how I first ended up live streaming before I even knew what Twitch was. Um, for my birthday one year, I got in back then it was Google Meets. We didn't have Zoom. And we got in a Google Meets, and then we streamed it to YouTube. So a bunch of us were hanging out, chit-chatting, and then people could watch on YouTube and chat via the chat if they, because introverts, they have a really hard time opening up and like getting on Zoom and showing their face and all this stuff. And so I was trying to make it so that people could interact but not have to do that, because I knew, me personally, the only reason I was able to do it is because I had already physically met the people that had agreed to do this with me. And then, because before that, you feel like you're intruding on somebody else's whatever. And so it went really well. And so then I started the Virtual Stitchers, and we had the Google Meets, and people would show up, and then we moved to Zoom, and then we had a split of the group, so it's really not as popular as it used to be. But those of us that are there, we're all the kind of people that you want to be friends with. Like, if you come into Virtual Stitchers for the first time, we're going to ask you your name, we're going to ask you what you're stitching on, and then we're going to leave you alone, and we're going to let you get comfortable. And we welcome you into the conversation, but we don't push. I don't know. I just feel like it's a really comfortable experience. So I try and make it be that way as much as I can. I don't get on as much as I used to, but when I was working nights, I pretty much sat in the Zoom room all night long. But I could sit in there all day. There'd just be nobody there. She's looking so good. I'm so excited. I do feel like I should have moved her up the fabric a little bit, because I'm going to have a ton of, like, I think I have enough fabric down here to have another piece on here, but still, I wasted a lot not centering her properly. Where am I at? Now I really want ice cream I'm not allowed to have. Thanks to somebody. I don't even know if Shannon's still here. I'm pointing fingers. Let me look at the calendar. Oh, my phone died. Just kidding. Shannon is still here. Calendar. What? Why can I not function today? Okay, so next week we should be able to stream Sunday and Tuesday. But the week after that, the next 2 weeks after that, I don't know if I'm going to get to stream at all because retreat and family reunion means that I had to take the weekend off, which means, and I'm not going to stream. Well, y'all know when I'm at reunion, I don't have any service at all. I'm not going to stream from retreat. And so unless I do an impromptu stream after work one day, but that's hard to do because I'm tired when I get off of work. I pretty much come home, eat, and go to bed. So, but next week should be normal. So Sunday we'll do the kitten stitch. It sounds like I'm saying kitten. Kit, then stitch. I guess technically it does spell kitten. Anyway. And then Tuesday is just a stitch and chat. One of these days, which has been postponed because of work, but one of these days I want to have a fully finished stream where I take something that I finished and turn it into something. But like, one, work, right? So on the 4 days that I'm off, I'm kind of like, that sounds like a lot of work. And two, it's so hot that trying to do that here in Texas, like I really need like a midnight stream to work on something like that. So we'll get to it eventually. We will. I used to do it. I used to stream on Twitch and I used to finish things. We'll do it again someday. Does anybody want to take a guess at how many stitches we got on stream tonight? Because I'm going to tie this up here pretty quick. My late ones, so Sunday nights, it's hard for me to stream for too long because bedtime. Tuesday I can stream for a longer amount of time. How many stitches do we get? Remember, so it's been 2 hours. Oodles of stitches. Hello, ladies. I'm from the UK. It's 4 a.m. here, and I can't. Lovely cross stitch. Loving the colors. Oh, you can't sleep. Thank you. 4 a.m. That's no fun. This is Mystery Kitty from Kitty and Me Designs. It was a mystery stitch along that started January 1st of this year. It came out in 4 parts on January 1st, January 15th, February 1st, and February 15th. And February 15th is my son's birthday. And I'm just woefully behind. So it's what we stitch on each time after we kit. Y'all, my purple's almost all out of my hair. I don't know if y'all could see, but we're almost, it's, let's see if I can switch this here. It's almost all gone. It's fading. Lexi's gonna redo it before retreat though. The front is like gone, so it's just like blonde. But she's gonna put the purple back in it before we go out of town. Laurel says 200 stitches. Does anybody else have a guess? 160? Y'all have such high regards for me. You think I'm just the fastest stitcher. I feel so special. Everybody makes me feel special. Okay, I'm gonna switch back so y'all can see her. Because that other screen has a pattern that we're not even stitching on yet. I'm gonna pull this out a little bit. Now that's what she's looking like. So there's some crying ink that needs to go in down here to finish up part 4 on this half. And then we have part 3 and part 4 on this half. So we gotta finish up and then we'll be done with her. And then I won't know what to stitch on. I'm sure we'll figure something out, but oh, Shannon, hold on. I got in some goodies. Not today, but I hadn't. Today's the first time I've gotten to take a look. Holly says 181. I think we talked about these on stream. I think Zeb mentioned this. So we got, let's switch cameras. We got that sunflower button and beads kit. I don't know if anyone was specifically asking for it, if we just all mentioned it, but I ordered some. So I've got 3 of those to put in the shop. If anybody wants one, let me know. And then I got Shannon's coffee. What's it called? To-go cup. One of these is for Shannon and one's for Vicky, but that means I still have one to go in the shop. And a cute little Mill Hill kit. I like the colors in this one. Like, got the purples and the creams. Super awesome. So that was the fun that came in the mail a couple days ago, but I've been at work, so I hadn't had a chance to send you an invoice. So I'll be sending you an invoice soon, Shannon. But we don't have very much in the folder, so I know we're just going to invoice it and put it in there. This sunflower is really cute. I might actually do this one myself. I say that, but me and Mill Hills, you know, we've gotten along. So look at all the colors in that thing. That's insane. But it's tempting. Too bad Vicky's not here. I could be like, look, Vicky, what's going in your folder? All right, ladies. We got 129 stitches. If I mathed right. 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, I didn't math right. Hold on. Just kidding. Let me try that again. Why is my Apple Pen not working? Okay. It wasn't that I couldn't math, it's that I have very bad handwriting, and so... Are you serious? What is this? Adds to use your calculator, isn't that great? Okay. We have 149. We almost made it to 150. So, y'all are all think I'm a much better stitcher than I am. I get lost and forgetful and yeah. So, what I am going to try and do though, just because some people were so sweet to join me and raid with me today, I'm going to try and find a raid for the Twitch people, doesn't do anything for my YouTubers, but I appreciate all of you for being here. Remember, I'm going to be here again Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time because I live in Texas. I don't know. I don't remember how to do this. First, I got to find somebody. That's the main thing. None of my people are on. Browse, makers and crafting. $11 off. Yep, you got really close. Do we have anybody stitching or crocheting? It's late, so got some late night planning, some diamond art. Okay. Now let's see if I can remember how to do this. I think Cherry Belle Designs is, doing some spinning. Okay, that sounds good. Bye, Holly. Have a wonderful night. I know I'll see you on Tuesday. Okay, so now I just gotta remember how to do it. I think I can manage it from my phone, right? I'm getting there. I'm figuring it out. I've done this before, but it has been a really long time. Okay. Say Cherry Belle Designs. Awesome. All right. So, thank you all for joining me tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful evening and join me again on Tuesday. My Twitch people, I'm going to send over to Cherry Belle Design. Again, I'm very new to Twitch and I hope I do something correct. But if not, have a wonderful night and I'll see you again very soon. Did I do it?